Time for an update on Mercedes Buy This Not That 2.0. Let's get started. Welcome to summertime in Las Cruces. This is the monsoon season here in the desert southwest. This is our new home. You can see a storm looks like it's building behind me. It is the rainy season here. As we speak, we're currently setting up the shop and getting things ready for our grand opening. And in fact, the next video you're going to see is going to be with the shop being set up, showing from basically an empty shop all the way to ready to open. It's been a long, hard journey, guys, to get here. It's been very stressful, but we're getting close to the end. Now, before we dive into that, we're going to do some updates on some of my Buy This Not That's. I was just scanning through the other day, looking at some of the older videos, and I realized that my Mercedes Buy This Not That video 1.0 is from 7 years ago. It's been 7 years. It's been a long time, guys. So it's time to do the update. It's basically going to show what I originally recommended and kind of it basically is shifting in time because, like I've mentioned in videos in the past, no matter how well you take care of a car, age will catch up to it, just like your human body. You can be a marathon runner, but someday age will catch up to you. The same happens to your car. So in that video, I did a bunch of Buy This Not That, several different groups like SUV, cars, sports cars, things of that nature. We're going to do 3 of the Not That's and 3 of the ones to buy. In the previous Buy This Not That 1.0, I had originally recommended not to buy the 1989 to 2002 SL500, also the R129. Basically because of convertible top issues. When these fail, it's like a domino effect, and it can cost thousands upon thousands and thousands to fix the entire system. Years ago, I used to do it for $3 or $4 grand. Now, I talked to Cameron from DC Motor Works. He says that's now $6 to $8 grand to do that job. And the cars are now only worth $6 to $8 grand, maybe 10. So that's definitely what I originally recommended. Now I have a new or an updated version of what not to buy in this segment. It's basically the next iteration, or 2001 to 2011 R230 SL500 and SL550. Originally I had recommended these to buy, but I can't recommend them anymore because, like I mentioned, age does catch up with these. And with the ABC suspension on some of them, I talked to Alex from Legit Street Cars, and he says now to do the full system on those cars, $25,000. And the car's worth 10 or 15, maybe 20. It's just really not worth it. They also are now getting to the age where they have convertible top issues, just like the R129. We're starting to see that now in these R230s. The cylinders are failing. They're spraying liquid all in the trunk, or fluid, I should say. Also, there's a range about 2007, 2008 on the SL550s that had timing chain issues with the balance shaft gear and could cause some serious engine issues, possible damage, if not addressed. So these cars now have multiple things stacked against them. And these cars, keep in mind, guys, used to be worth $20,000, $30,000. Now they're worth 10. Some I've seen on Marketplace for 5. So when you get down to that level with the value, but the repairs don't go down, they stay the same. It's easy to have $10,000 to $20,000 in repairs on these. I can't recommend to buy those anymore. In the Car Wizard Buy This Not That Mercedes 1.0, I touched on the S-Class if you're looking for the top level luxury. And I had originally recommended not to buy the 98 to 2003 S430 because it had tons of electrical problems, vacuum problems with the vacuum doors and things. And it could just be so expensive to fix. But now we're going to move to the new recommendation of S-Class not to buy. These were actually recommended to buy in the previous 1.0, but here in 2.0, that's changed. The ones not to buy now is 2009 to 2013 S550. Even though these have the updated engine balance shaft issues fixed, They have a slew of other issues, and age has caught up to them. And another thing, values have done this. Back in my 1.0 video, these era of S550s were easily $20,000 to $40,000 for a nice one. Now they're worth 10 or 15, maybe 20 on a super nice one. But there's so many on marketplace, $99.99, $9,500, $12,000, with tons of issues. Most of these are clapped out by now. They are just run through the ringer. They are really in bad shape. There are some nice ones still out there, but in Car Wizard Buy This Not That 1.0, there were tons of nice ones on the road. 7 years later, that number has diminished, probably by 60 to 70%. They are in really sad shape. These also can have ABC issues, which were kind of problematic back then, but here in 2026, when the car is worth 10 or 12 grand and it costs 25 to fix the ABC system on the ones equipped with that system, or the Airmatic system are still expensive as well. They can be very, very expensive to fix, way past the value of the vehicle. So keep in mind, you see that S550 2010, 2011, wow, 9 grand, I can get one of those. Remember what the Car Wizard said. It's very easy to get $10,000 to $20,000 in repairs getting these up to snuff. If you're going to buy one of these, buy one that's as nice and as expensive as you can afford, because if you buy a bottom of the barrel one, not worth it. I can feel the wind blowing behind me. It's starting to cool off. There's probably a storm not far off, so we better get things going on this video. We'll move on to the next segment now of not to buys. And if there is any wind noise, I do apologize. It kind of came up on us fast. There's not much I can do about it right now. But in Car Wizard Buy This Not That 1.0, I recommended not to buy those old GL 450s. In fact, 2007 to 2010 GL 450. Again, I apologize for the wind, but move forward to 2.0, 2026. I still say don't buy those. Nothing's changed in that particular category. Any, in fact, of the GL or the GLS models, I've had multiples in the shop, anywhere from 2007 to 2020. I've had customers say over and over and over again, I should have never bought this thing. It has emptied my bank account. It's still not fixed. I put a bunch of money into it. 6 months later, I put that much money into it again. And I constantly have the question, Car Wizard, how do I get out from underneath this car? Over and over again. Do not buy GL or GLS. 2007 to 2020. All the way back to Car Wizard 1.0, those still apply today. Just don't buy those. They're bad. Alright guys, we had to wait a little bit for that storm to pass. Now it's much calmer. I don't want you guys to hear a bunch of wind noise and be totally annoyed. It would not be fun. So now we're back at it. We're going to go over the cars you should buy in the Mercedes category and kind of update from the previous 1.0 Buy This Not That of Mercedes to now the 2.0. In the first video I had said to buy the 2008 to 2011 R230s. But like I just mentioned a minute ago, they are now not the ones to buy. Age has caught up to them. They're not worth it. It's so easy to mechanically total them, even double total them. Where the cars were 10, 15 grand and it can be 30 to sort one out. It really can, guys. However, there's going to be an update to this, which is any of the newer SL 500 series. They have SL 550s, they have 450s, all kinds of different models now. And really just get as new as you can afford. And the honest truth, guys, is any of these cars I'm recommending, no matter if it's 2 years old or 5 years old or 10 years old, we're talking about cars that when they break, it's not $50 or $100. It's $5,000 and $10,000 and $15,000 when they break. Even if you get a 3-year-old model that's just out of warranty, when it breaks, it's still going to cost multiple thousands to fix. So we can't say just don't buy a Mercedes, because there's a lot of people out there that really love Mercedes-Benz. They love the image, they love the styling, and I'm one of those. I really like Mercedes-Benz. I think they're great cars, but they're very expensive to fix. Some of the newer SL series have bi-turbo V8s with tons and tons of power. They are super fast, and they have tons of features on them now that they're just full, chock full of gadgets and things, as you can imagine, on a newer model. One thing to keep in mind with these newer models is that parts are going to be readily available. They're going to be on the shelf at the dealership or at your favorite supplier. Probably not at AutoZone or Riley's or any of those places like that. They'll probably have to special order them in. They're not going to have them on the shelf. So basically in the SL series, the ones I had previously recommended 2008 to 2011 are now not buys. You shouldn't buy those. Just get as new as you can. Now in the S-Class series, I had recommended 2009, 2013, the S550 being its post timing chain, balance shaft, gear issues. But like I just mentioned a minute ago, they're not worth a whole lot anymore. And especially if you have a model with ABC suspension or you have engine issues or things of that nature, it's just not going to be worth it. Where these cars used to be worth $20, $30, $40,000, now they're worth 10, 15, maybe 20 on a really immaculate perfect one. They're just not worth a lot anymore, but the repairs haven't gone down. So what I did recommend to buy back then, I'm saying today, stay away from them. Time has caught up with them and their value has dropped so much, you can't buy those. Now the ones I'm going to recommend to buy in the S-Class category is 2014 to 2020 S550. These are going to be super nice. They're going to be newer. They don't have all the miles. And here's the big kicker. They're going to be now still worth $20, $40, $50, $60,000. So even if they do have some issues, it's totally worth fixing. And these have something called Magic Ride, where there's a camera in the windshield that watches the road ahead. And it can monitor and change the suspension settings based on what it's about to hit before it even hits it. These also have the bi-turbo V8s. You can get an S600 still. It's just bonkers amount of power. These are very fast, very comfortable. If you have to have an S-Class, this is the year range I recommend. But just like I just said a minute ago, guys, it's still a Mercedes Benz. And when it does break, no matter if it's 2 years old or 10 years old, it's going to be very high to repair. Now you might be thinking, I know what I could do, Car Wizard. I'll buy one of these and buy the extended warranty, the aftermarket warranty, and I'll be good. No, you probably won't. In fact, our shop, along with many other shops, some of my friends that own shops all over the country, we all in unison refuse to take extended warranties. We won't. Because they come through and they say, oh, you charge this much an hour? We only pay this much. Tough. Deal with it. And then they also say that part costs $500. We're not going to pay for that. We'll send you a used one off of a broken car. You're going to put that on for our customer because we're trying to cut the cost. They do really crappy work. I'm really disappointed in a lot of them. And what should take a certain amount of time to get a car in and out of the shop can be doubled or even tripled. Fighting with these people to try to get them to cover things and arguing and bickering. My friend Cameron from DC Motorworks said he tried to take those for a while and he said no more. I won't even take them. So you say, well, I bought this extended warranty, and this is a complaint I've had customers call on the phone. I bought this warranty, but no one accepts it. I wonder why. I just told you why. So it's really not where I don't push extended warranties. I don't think you should buy one. I don't really approve of them. I think they're kind of a scam. But now let's get back to that final category in the to buy. In the first video, I recommended 2011 to 2019 ML350. These are dead reliable. They're fairly comfortable. They're easy to work on comparatively to some of the other more complex cars in the Mercedes lineup. They look stylish. They look nice. Even a 2012, 2015 today still looks up to date. It still looks presentable. You don't look like an old fuddy-duddy driving some 60 or 40 or 50-year-old car. It actually looks nice. So in the first video, I recommended the 2011 to 2019 ML350, and guess what? In 2.0, that doesn't change. They are that good. You should still buy those. I don't even have to update the M-Class series because the 2011 to 2019 ML350 is a darn good buy. They are that good. They're excellent SUVs. You can still find some of these with high miles on them that are still in great shape. They still look nice, $6, $10, $12, $14,000, and they're really, really nice. Now, if you're buying one with higher miles, don't buy one with Airmatic, because every time you turn around, there's a leaking air strut, the compressor's failed, a sensor's out, a valve block's bad, and you'll be fighting and fighting and fighting with this. They're great when they work and when they're new. They're really unmatched in ride quality. But when they get old and get miles on them, it's basically a complete system replacement if you want to stop being nagged with stuff breaking all the time. So before we close out this video, you guys might have the question, why don't you recommend 2025s, 24s, 26s, things of that nature? And this bird is even angry with me. The reason why is because I can't learn about those cars because they're not even coming to my shop. And the reason why that is, they're still under factory warranty. No one's going to pay $6 grand to fix their car when the dealer will still fix it under warranty for free. So it takes a while for those to work through and their warranty to expire till I finally get to see them and start learning the common problems and learning the headaches, the cost involved. I won't know that data until the warranty expires. And for a 2026 or a 25, that's 2, 3, 4 years away from now. And you're wanting to know what's the most reliable 2026 this or 2025 that? It hasn't even been out long enough to prove that it's reliable. How would I know that? So keep that in mind, guys, when you guys have questions of what about a 2025 or 26 this? Time has yet to tell the data on those newer cars. So I'm not really going to be recommending yes or no on anything newer. So I'm going to go take a break, guys. Me and Mrs. Wizard are exhausted. We have been spending the entire week, 14-hour days, setting up the shop. But we're excited to get opened on Monday. There's the next video coming out. You definitely want to hit the subscribe button because it's going to show the new shop. And you can see all of the labor come to fruition. And we're excited to start fixing cars and not be setting up and setting up and setting up. It's hard, guys. It's really tough. But it's worth it. If you're curious what kind of tools we're going to use in this new shop on the car, check our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. All these tools we use are listed there for sale. If you purchase any of them, we get a small cut and really appreciate it. And make sure to hit the subscribe button because no, we're not closing the shop. We're not closing the YouTube channel. Obviously, there's so much more to come. Thanks for watching.